Yo, what's good? It's your boy Trucker D checking in once again. I know it's been a minute, but I'm back. I had to get some things situated, trying to move and still work at the same time. So you already know, both of them are full-time jobs. Anything you try to do outside trucking, it becomes a full-time job. But let's jump right in the middle of things. TransAm. I have been talking to a lot of TransAm drivers, and I know quite a few TransAm drivers, and I've been getting a lot of calls, people complaining about service fares. Myself, I got some service fares. Service fares that I didn't even know that existed until I got a call out the blue, like, hey, we need to talk about these service fares. I'm like, what? What you mean? Oh, you got service fares from like 2 months ago, and da-da-da-da. So basically, y'all letting the service fares stack up before you call. But apparently, they handing out service fares like somebody handing out free bag lunch, while passing around a Frisbee or something. It's crazy. So their level of service fares that they're giving out got to be astronomical. The reason why I say this is because it all boils down to lack of communication. TransAm's communication level is 0. If we can get a minus, it will get that. It is trash, for real. No lie. They pretty much just give you the keys to a truck and tell you to start running loads, and they tell you we thrive on time delivery, which is that's cool. That's good. And but they just like, hey, go here. We'll see your message in the ground, where to go, where to drop it off at. Get it there safe. Get it there on time. They do not go into details explaining things like your home time, how that truly operates. They do not explain when you request vacation times. I have people have took vacation time, and TransAm have started their vacation time late, but expect you to be prompted back on time to be in that truck when they started your time, cut into your personal time late. They're not honoring that. And like I said, just the lack of communication. I never ever had a job to where they just told you to do something and didn't explain it. Let's say, for instance, if you had a job to where you worked at a warehouse or some type of plant, and there was some type of press machine that cuts metal or something, and you can potentially be in danger of losing your fingers. So for that company not to be liable, they're gonna show you the proper way to operate that machinery, so you can operate it in a safe way and you know what you're doing. They're not gonna just say, hey, hit the green button, stick it in there, and walk off. Do that repetitiously, and that's your job. Because if you go in there and happen to stick your finger in there or have your hand there too long, you lose your fingers. At the end of the day, that's on the company, because they didn't explain the job function properly. And I feel like that's a big error with TransAm. They do not train the job. They do not tell you the job function. Well, we know they don't train you, but they don't tell you the job function thoroughly. They don't train you, and they don't tell you. They just basically like on-time delivery, and here you go, be safe. That is dropping the ball, which causes a lack of communication with the driver. I believe wholeheartedly, when two people have communication, it cuts out a lot of the BS. For the simple fact, it put us on the same page. I understand you, you understand me. It's nothing better in this world than an understanding between two people. When I understand what you got going on, I understand what I got going on. Now we see eye to eye. If I'm assuming, or you assuming, then we're not on the same page. because we're guessing. With TransAm, that's what you're doing. You're guessing. It's trial and error. So if you make mistakes, guess what? That's your trial and your error, and you will have disciplinary actions to come along with that, which I don't think that's the best idea, because I think these things should be thoroughly taught properly, so that way once you get to this point and make these mistakes, then that's on you. This dispatch, I feel like the dispatch don't know no more than we do. They hire these people, just throw them in there and tell them to answer the phone, put on the headset and answer phones. Because a lot of those dispatches is giving out conflicting information, inaccurate information. And when you listen to what they say, then sometime you might be some blowback. They might didn't explain it thoroughly enough, I should say, to where your clarification of what they're saying may be a little fogged. And so now you got to be penalized for that. Prime example, I had a situation to where I was being constantly told in my lane, we get daily pay. So, and 99% of our loads are drop and hook. I can't say this will be the same for our OTR drivers. They get paid by the mile, but for us it's a little different. So they'd be like, well, it's drop and hook on both ends. Be like, okay, what that mean? Well, it's pretty much, you drop it and you hook and you get it there when you can get it there. Just get it there safe. Okay, cool. Well, you listen to that mess if you want to. Your ass gonna get a service failure, because that's not true. And then you go by that format, and then only way you're gonna find out different is when your driver manager call you. Oh, well, you got some service failures, and we need to discuss these service failures. Like, what you mean? I'm doing my job. At least I thought I was doing my job, but I was misinformed. And I feel like these people are not trained, just like we're not trained. They're just told to do a job, and that's it. So they don't know the correct way to word the things that they should say to us, or know the correct format they should say it to us, to where it put us both on the same page and put us eye to eye. But once again, that goes back to lack of communication. I feel like that is one of the biggest situations with TransAm, is the lack of communications. Even trying to reach dispatch, it is like pulling teeth out of tiger mouth. You might get lucky one day and they might just pick up the dang on phone. Then you might sit there and wait 2 hours. Then there might be some days they don't even call your ass back. Lack of communication. At the end of the day, we're the drivers. We're the one in the field. We the boots on the ground. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy, because you would think they would want to hear what we have to say a lot of times, and take a lot of stuff that we say to correct a lot of issues, versus just do as I say and do it this way. And you are sitting behind a computer in a hole on the other side of the country, or never even been in the truck. Some of them have, a lot of them haven't, and it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I feel like they need to do better, for real. I feel like they can do better, and they need to do better. I feel like they should really tap in with the drivers and just listen to some of the things we say, because a lot of us have some valid points. I can't speak for everybody. Some people I wouldn't waste my time listening to, but then it's our some that has some very valid points. I could say, hey, I could do this way, and I think it's the best way for me to do it. And then I could be bullheaded and be like, no, we could do it my way, and we're not listening to nobody else. We're going to do it this way or the highway. Or then you might come along, and I'll listen to you and say, damn, she had a better way of doing it than I did. And I thought I had the best way, but really what she said made a lot more sense. And it's a lot more efficient the way she said doing it, and I think she's on to something. But they don't do that. It's to do as I say, else the highway. And I think that is the crappiest way to be, especially trying to run a company. Especially when we the soldiers. So if you got these soldiers on the ground, boots on the ground, I think you should tap in and at least see what we have to say. Not saying you need to listen to everybody, but a lot of us have situations and things that we deal with that you might don't deal with because you sit behind a computer all day or sit there with a headset. Not downplaying your position, but we the true heartbeat of the company. Without us, without these wheels turning, ain't nobody earning nothing. It's all just dead. You know what I'm saying? So I think we should be valued a lot more than what we do. But you know, that's neither here nor there. That's how I feel about it. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. But I'm not gonna say that it can't be changes, or they wouldn't consider making changes. And if they do, that would be great. You know what I'm saying? But the communication level is terrible, and I feel that they really need to start communicating with the drivers a lot more. So that would cut down a lot of these service fares, because I have had so many drivers call me in the last 30 days. I can't count on both hands how many drivers done called me that work for TransAm complaining about service fares. I actually had a driver call me this morning like, yo, D man, what's up? I ain't heard from you in a minute. You good, man? Dog, I got a service fare, da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm getting drivers like, man, I'm getting service fares. Fuck this. I don't even care no more. Now you killing the morale. You killing the morale because you giving out these service fares to people and you're not thoroughly explaining their job description so they could avoid making these type of situations or getting in these type of situations. And that's crazy. You killing your morale. It's like having a football team and the morale is in the toilet. You're not winning no games, or eventually you're gonna lose because you're not tapped in. You're not tapped in. You're not tapped in. It's my way or the highway, and that's crazy. That's crazy. So, you know, and I know TransAm watch my videos, so they need to put this one in their pipe and smoke this one. You feel me? For real though, because this something gotta give, man. You know, handing out all these dang old service fares like this is crazy. I'm not saying that they shouldn't give out service fares. I feel that the level of the service fares that they're giving out can definitely be corrected by communication. If you communicate and let your drivers know exactly their job function, exactly what you expected them, then at that point, once I drop the ball, that is clearly on me at that point. You know what I'm saying? Because even with my driver manager, the service fares that I got, when I thought I was doing my job right, I didn't. I had to tell my driver manager, I need you to explain to me how my job worked, because the way I'm thinking it worked, clearly it's not the way that it's supposed to be, because you give me service fares. So once he called me and him and I sat down and thoroughly went over these things, thoroughly got a clear understanding, now I know how to operate and how to move myself more accordingly to the situation. But at first, when I was just doing what I thought was the right thing, because I really wasn't quote unquote taught or trained or told the proper way to do what I'm supposed to do, you know, it was all, like I said, trial and error. So I actually asked my driver manager, you got to explain to me how you want this to work, so that way we can be on the same page. So now we're on the same page. So now that the service fares that I had in the past, I shouldn't have those no more, because now I got an understanding of the proper etiquette way to do my job function. You would just think it's just driving the truck. It's a lot more than just driving the damn truck. You know what I'm saying? It's a hell of a lot more than driving the truck. That's only a percentage of the game, you know. You would think on-time delivery. No, it's more than just that. It ain't just on-time delivery. It's a lot of other stuff to go along with that. It's a number of things, but I just feel like communication should be a lot more communicable between the driver and the management. But yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest, man. I know I ain't been on here in a minute. I'm gonna try to do better. But until then, hey, 10 toes down. I 10 by 10. Y'all stay safe. Peace.